Hello, everyone. This is Grigor speaking. We're all from the American University of Armenia, from the Trust class. And today we're going to present on AI and trust. So what we did for this presentation was pick out a specific case, and we're going to try to explain the trust issues around it. And at the end, we're going to give some recommendations. So let's begin. Artur is going to take over and begin with explaining the case.
Hello, my name is Artur, and I'm going to present the exact case which happened in the University of Texas. So the case with Texas professor and ChatGPT is really interesting since it delves deep into the hard challenges connected with using AI tools as a means to detect plagiarism. So what happened was that the professor turned into ChatGPT to check if whether the student use AI or not. So initially it got wrong because ChatGPT mistakenly thought that all the papers were written by AI, not by students. So this created serious consequences because professor entirely relied on the ChatGPT's judgment to see whether they used AI or not, and ended up failing the entire class. So entire class failed this assignment. Even students who had put their work in the research got unfairly punished because after it was revealed that they hadn't used any AI. So this incident caused quite a controversy since it not only embarrassed the professor, but it also created big questions about dependability of AI in all educational setups. So the professor had to make some changes. So he apologized to students who got affected by his decision and gave them the second chance to improve their assignment. So this whole experience shows us that how tricky can AI be in educational setups, in academic routines. It highlights the need for human oversight and careful evaluation when using these AI tools. Thank you.
Okay, Aram is speaking, and now let's find what trust issues and consequences this case had. Since the technology is new and the detection software cannot yet reliably differentiate between text written by AI and the human, this further complicates the situation and reduces trust in professor-student relationship. This case requires many perspectives to identify the issues it brings to the table correctly. If we look through the eyes of the professor, his assignments do not serve the purpose they were designed to serve. That is, teaching the students how to write academic essays. Since he had experience being lied to in the past on this issue, his trust in his students was significantly compromised. Thus, he did not trust them when they were claiming their case of not cheating. This is resulting in several outcomes, such as decline in quality, demotivation, and further career. Let's talk about each point more thoroughly. For example, the professor not trusting the students will lead to a decline in the quality of the professor's classes, since he will not be able to conduct the classes properly without trust, which is also impacting his reputation. Secondly, the professor may be demotivated to experiment and innovate in the classroom, try more new ways of teaching, and it will result in him sticking to traditional teaching manners and losing satisfaction with his job, with his lectures, and so on. And thirdly, the distrust from students may hinder the professor's further professional growth, as the students would not want to be mentored by the instructor and would not want the instructor to help them in the future, so it will impact the professors for the career. And on the other hand, if we put ourselves in the shoes of students who did not cheat but got unfairly punished, this situation seems unfair and unprofessional. The students even submitted bulletproof evidences that they indeed wrote the essays themselves. They showed the timestamps in the Google Docs and many other things. Still, since the professor had been lied to before, he was very skeptical. which led to the students questioning the professionalism and competency of the professor, which itself led to ruined trust between them. This results in several outcomes, such as demotivation again, but this time from the student's perspective. They are not motivated to learn from someone they do not trust and are more inclined to not listen to the professor or just skip the classes altogether. Secondly, they started to doubt the professionalism and competency of the professor. That results in a further decline in their motivation and interest in class, alongside with a breakdown of student-instructor relationship. They even started to question the professor's doctorate and other publishing. They even checked with AI detector whether that was written by human or AI, and found out that first several pages were written by AI. This also impacted their trust. Thirdly, the distrust further extended to the institution itself. The students started to doubt the professionalism and authority of the universities, and they may be demotivated to continue their education in higher institutions. And last but not least, the persistent distrust in students' academic honesty may create a community with undermined core values, where all are suspicious and skeptical of each other. So this much was prepared for the trust issues and consequences. Now Raja will continue and present his part.
It's Raja talking, and I will try to talk about the critical players and factors affecting trust issues. We have considered several points regarding this topic. The first is that the topic regarding to the professor. The professors play a crucial role in shaping trust, their belief in students' honesty, and concerns about AI tools affect trust in the classroom. Secondly, while talking about the students' honesty and perception of fairness are vital for the trust during the whole class and the semester. If they feel the system isn't fair, they might lose the motivation and become become less motivated during the classes. And in the third place, while talking about the AI technology, we can say that AI can be complex, and its accuracy and biases, along with the reliability of cheating detection tools, influence trust among educators and students. The institutional policies, while talking about the institutional policies, we have to mention that schools need clear ethical rules for the AI use. Communicating these rules transparently and having fair ways to resolve issues about to help build trust in the classroom. And dealing with these trust issues requires clear rules, open communication, fair treatment, and involving everyone. Trust is crucial in education, especially when AI is involved. Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on to recommendations for strengthening trust. So as we've already established, there are a lot of issues, a lot of trust issues that need to be addressed. And in this section, I'll try to explain a few ways that a professor can take to strengthen this trust. So firstly, what the professor can do is he can either reject the use of AI or he can accept it. In the case of when he rejects it, he must have creative writing tasks assigned to the students. This will ensure that the students cannot plagiarize with AI and will actually have to write their own essays. Another thing that he can do is he can have a lot of oral assessments. Those assessments will also ensure that the students will not have access to AI and will need to actually memorize and study the subject. And the last way we thought of was personal experiences. So if the professor assigns his home tasks based on personal experiences, is also as well, clearly the AI can't help in this case. In this scenario where the professor rejects AI, we think that it's not as optimal because the students in the end of the day will still try to cheat because they don't have enough motivation to not to do so. So let's move on to another scenario, what we think is more acceptable to do in this situation, and that is to accept the use of AI. So let's remember what happened when the Google engine started to become popular around the world. And in the institutions, the same problems happen that are arising right now. Students suddenly had access to a big, vast array of knowledge that they could use anytime. And this very much diminished the home assignments and a lot of tactics that the professors used to educate the students. So in order to accept AI, there are a few steps that the professor should take. Firstly, he should reduce the weight of the grades. This will ensure that most of the grades are coming from the quizzes, from the midterms, from the finals, and not from the homeworks that the student has in access to AI. Another good way is to grade based on outcomes, meaning if a professor, for example, gives an assignment, he should grade based on if the assignment was accomplished, if the assignment was done properly, and not based on the tools that the students used while writing the assignment. And another crucial part of this is feedback. So the professor should very clearly give feedback to students on their work, so that even if they did use AI, they know what they did wrong with it and how to improve in the future. And the last way is to make sure the students very much understand the material. Because if they do understand the material at a very good level, the use of AI will actually be a lot more beneficial to them than it will harm them. And let's also remember that at the end of the day, the students, when they finish university, they will go to jobs, they will have their lives, and they're not gonna not use ChatGPT. They're going to use it. They're going to use a lot of AI tools. And we think it's crucial that they understand how to use it and learn to use it even in the university. And that's it. Thank you very much. This is all we've prepared. If you have any questions, you can address them in email. That's it.